In the last episode, we talked about how we can get YouTube webpage from the internet and then find the key piece of information we want from the console here by doing finding in the console. And as we have seen in the last episode, we can successfully find what we need here in this large chunk of text. Well, that doesn't look very intelligent to me. We don't want to manually find subscriber count and then copy it to somewhere like we were doing in the last episode. What we want to do is to eliminate our manual task. So in this episode, we will be adding more codes into our Python program, and then we will have the computer program to search that keyword for us. So and then grab the information for us automatically. So let's work on our Python script. Remember in the first episode, I told you any character in a long string can be sliced and then referenced by index like we have here. Let me comment all this out for a second by pressing Ctrl and then slash. That will have our Python program ignoring all the codes on top, and it will be grayed out. So remember we were printing something like hello. Excuse me, I need some quotes there. Hello, and then square bracket 0. That will give us the first character in this string H, as you see, and that will apply to some very 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 long string too. And we have a very very long string from our YouTube webpage, and that's exactly what we need to do. We need to find where the key information we want, that is the YouTube subscriber count, is located in this very very long string. So in the last episode, we have this response text, and it's a very long string, and we simply print that string out, and that's not enough. They were very long information we downloaded from the YouTube, and then there is a way we can type a method called find in a string type in Python. So let me do some more coding here, and right in between response text and the printing function call, let's do a start. Let's call it starting index. We create a new variable called starting index, and that is to store where does our key information start and what's the index for that. In order to do so, we need to type response text. That is simply referring to the earlier variable, and then for that we need to type dot find, and then give it a pair of braces, saying what you want to find in this very long piece of text. And what we need is, as we see earlier, if I can bring that up, subscriber count text runs. I think that will do. Whoops, what did I just do? I think you need to do the right click in order to have it work properly. Let's paste that in. Immediately there's some problem here. Python doesn't like our double quote because we have three quote sign, and it's confusing for Python. To solve that, we simply need to change our double quote into single quotes on the very outside of our text. That should do, and let's print that out. See what we got. I think we'll get a number, and as you can see, we did get a number, and it's 174,687 index in the very long response text. That's where our key information starts. We have a starting index, and surely we will need an ending index too. And let's do that again. If we go back to our very long piece of text in the console, we can see the pattern is the subscriber information is always followed by a curly bracket and then a square bracket and then another curly bracket. So we know that piece of information, and we already know how to find an index of some kind of text in a string. What we need to do is simply copying these 3 characters and then paste that right in. Let me paste that right in. However, there were a lot of square bracket and curly brackets in this very long piece of text, right? And the one we need specifically is the one after subscriber, context, and then colon, curly braces, runs, and then etc. etc. We need the one right after the useful information we want. So to find that specifically, what we need to do is simply put some slicing method after our response text, and tell our Python program to look for these 3 characters only after starting index. So in that case, our Python program will only look for the one right after subscriber context. And let's print 2 of those and see if they are reasonable to us. Print. Put on my braces. Run that again. Let's see what we got at the end. Okay. I don't think that's right. Sorry guys, I think I know what's the problem. What was the problem there? You see, we were searching for subscriber context. It turns out there wasn't only one subscriber context in our very long piece of information here. There were actually 2. You see, right at the end of the whole file, there's one called subscriber context colon and then simple text 2, and that's not the information we want. And that's why when we do the second index, the ending index one, we will have a problem looking for the wrong curly braces there. So in order to fix that problem, we need to have the computer program search for the text more accurately. So let's do this whole thing all together. Subscriber context runs text all the way to right before the information we need. Copy that, paste that, and then nothing else need to be changed. Then we'll uncomment that again. I don't know why is that gray still. Okay, now let's do that again. We should see this number should be way lower because remember, one increment in our index means 1 character, and if you remember, our information is subscriber, some 11.8 million subscriber, etc., etc. That shouldn't be very long, right? That shouldn't be something like thousands of characters in between. It should only be dozens. So that looks okay to me. And then what we need to do is actually print out this piece of information instead of printing out the index itself. To do that, we say response text, and then which portion of the text you want to print out. Of course, we want the starting index. We want to print from the starting index, and then to the starting index plus the ending index. Let me see if I'm doing this right. The reason why I'm adding two of those index up is because when we are doing a second text search for ending index, computer programs is only counting from here, and it's ignoring all the text before that. And when we add back starting index, computer program will know we are talking about here. So let's print that out and see what we got. As you can see, we now get what we want. We have our information extracted from the very long piece of text, and that's about it for today's episode. And in the next episode, we will be doing this in a new type of concept called loop. And what we will achieve is to allow us to not only look at subscriber count for Apple or any single company, rather we can do that for multiple companies, and then basically do that much faster than our manual operation can do.